Okay guys, we're back in the metal shop here. Something a little different today. We're going to do a truck instead of a motorcycle. But I got a buddy's 2003 Ram 1500 in the shop, and his wheel bearings were completely shot. So all the videos on the internet basically tell you in order to get that hub off, you need to take the axles out. In this case, it was completely impossible. Those things were seized in there, but I am going to show you what you should typically do. So if you're doing this at home, before you go and take the wheels off and stuff, take this center hub nut out, or at least loosen it off a little bit. Otherwise you may not be able to get it with the gun afterwards, the impact gun. But this is a 35 millimeter, okay? So you're gonna need a 35 millimeter big socket for that. You can see here in this video, I've already got the brake calipers and the big retaining metal piece. It's gone. Okay, now what they want you to do in the video, okay guys, this is what they want you to do underneath the vehicle, is you're trying to pry this piece out. And so what I've done is I've put a big wrench or big pry bar up against this and tried to pry it out. Now these axles are completely they're rusted in place. There's no way they're coming out. And the reason we've stopped prying on them is because I've actually seen them snap, or the whole insides of these come out, because the little clip that's holding it in there, it's either got bound up or it's completely seized. So what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to show you how to pull all this out without removing the axles. Okay, so what we're looking at here is here's the back side of the axle. And you got to get at these long bolts without taking the axle out. And the way you do that is you push the axle in. There's enough movement in that axle. You just slide it all the way in, and it will allow you to take those out. Okay, so I'll show you how I did that. Okay guys, so what you can see here, see all the movement in there? You can push this all the way in, okay? And the easiest way to do this at home by yourself, just grab a nice little wrench, throw that on there, throw one of the lugs back on that side, on this side. You know, the funny thing is, once you actually compress this, you really don't even need the lugs. The only thing you want to be careful of here is that you don't damage the threads on here, okay? So you can push this all the way in till it mates the surface here. And once it's even with the surface here, using a flex socket on the back, you can get at those 3 bolts and stuff that are on the back side here. Okay, now you might have to get inside and turn the steering wheel and open this up and close this up depending on what side you're working on. But you can leave the axles in place, okay? And so when you go to put this back on the new hubs, basically do the same thing. Kind of start with the same setup, so that as you're working on the hubs, you've got as much distance as possible to put those bolts back in. Now be very careful when you put those bolts back in that you don't cross thread those. You want to get them in nice and straight, and you should be able to turn them in by hand almost all the way till you can see them coming through into the hub here. And once you've done that, then feel free to go put a socket on it. Okay guys, so that's how you pop these hubs off. The only other thing is sometimes these hubs can get really stuck on there, so you're going to need to use maybe a mini sledgehammer to tap these off, or you can get you can get a screwdriver or something big in here, and a chisel, big metal chisel, and chisel these off. And then once you've got these off, you just want to clean that whole surface with a wire brush, nice and clean. The other option is, if you back the nuts out on the backside, you can use a punch and a hammer and hit those. I don't really like that method. It's quite hard to do, so I typically just get a chisel, and I just hit in behind here on all 3 corners, and then it pops right off. Okay guys, so for those guys who can't remove the axles, this should save you a lot of grief. And like I said, if those axles don't pop out in the first couple tries, don't keep pushing it, because you're going to break them.